This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I'm going to keep this one short and get straight to the point. So in China, 1 billion vaccine doses have been administered. This just came out this morning, which is pretty impressive. They have 1.4 billion people in China, which is over a billion more people than the US. In the US, it seems that vaccination rates have slowed down a lot more. Let's talk about Social Security. So Social Security cost of living adjustment for 2022 could be higher based on rising consumer prices, as well as the inflation which is going on right now. So you may have noticed higher prices in gasoline, car prices, grocery store prices. All those prices are due to inflation, and that could make the COLA, the cost of living adjustment, higher in 2022, but that's only a little bit compared to what can actually happen. So let's talk about the $279 more per month increase for Social Security. So Bernie Sanders tweeted this the other day saying, disability rights are civil rights. It's time to demolish disabled poverty once and for all. We must expand SSI. So this is referring to this tweet right here saying Senator Sherrod Brown, Senator Warren, Senator Sanders, Senator Ron Wyden, and 18 Senate Democrats just reintroduced the SSI Restoration Act in the Senate. As Senator Brown notes, this vital program has been forgotten by Washington for over 30 years. So this is the exact plan right here. So Sherrod Brown leads senators in introducing historic legislation to update long-neglected Social Security program to ensure older adults and people with disabilities are no longer trapped in poverty. So at the moment, this is just for SSI, Supplemental Security Income, SSI. This doesn't include SSDI or other Social Security programs. But what this does do is it's going to increase the monthly pay from $794 up to over $1,000. So it's going to give a $279 more increase per year. It's going to bring it to $12,880 for the year. It's going to be $279 more per month, over $12,000 for the year. Now this is just for SSI, but if we look at the plan on the President Biden's website, he doesn't say just SSI. So this is what President Biden campaigned on. He said, increase monthly Social Security checks by $200 per month. This is for all Social Security recipients, not just SSI. So there's a big discrepancy here. Let me know down in the comments below. If you're on SSI, do you think it should be expanded to other Social Security programs? Or if you're not on SSI, should it be for all programs? Would you be happy with a $279 more increase? Or is $200 enough? Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Another promise that President Biden made, also, it's on his website right above this, is forgive a minimum of $10,000 per person of federal student loans. So what's happening with that? So Biden tells Chuck Schumer to go ahead with calls for $50,000 in student debt cancellation. Basically, Chuck Schumer, for the past few months, he's been trying to get $50,000 in student loan forgiveness forgiven, and basically saying that President Biden just needs to sign with a flick of the pen through executive order, and $50,000 in student loan debt is erased from everybody who has federal student loans. Now, Chuck Schumer went up to President Biden and said, what do you think? Should I keep talking about this? And President Biden said, yeah, go ahead. But he has the same, President Biden is just saying, yeah, go ahead, keep talking about it, but I'm probably not going to do anything about it. Talk about it as much as you want. President Biden did mention that he was for $10,000, but that hasn't happened yet either. A recent poll came out saying the majority back blanket student loan forgiveness. So in this poll, it said that 52% of Americans said they are in favor of a blanket student loan forgiveness for all borrowers. 12% of respondents said that they believe student loan forgiveness should be granted for those with low income and high debt. Overall, people want to get student loans forgiven. This way they could use that money on other monthly expenses such as mortgage or utilities or food expenses. Pramila Jayapal, she is also a big proponent of the $50,000 in student loan debt. She just tweeted this yesterday saying, federal student loan payments have been deferred for the last 14 months and somehow the country hasn't imploded. Let's finally cancel at least $50,000 in student loan debt per per borrower. So Pramila Jayapal, a big proponent of the student loan forgiveness, she's also a big proponent of the recurring stimulus check, the fourth $2,000 per month stimulus check, along with Rashida Tlaib. Pramila Jayapal unveil a bill to provide $2,000 monthly payments to everyone. So this isn't just $2,000 per month, it's $2,000 per month until the pandemic ends, and then after that it's going to be another $1,000 monthly payments for an entire year after the pandemic is officially over. This is definitely a crowd favorite. Is this going to happen? It's not in the infrastructure plan. It's not in the families plan. It may be in this huge plan coming up. Maybe not recurring $2,000 a month, but Bernie Sanders seeks $6 trillion infrastructure package, which Senate Democrats are considering passing without the GOP. So basically, the $6 trillion infrastructure package is going to go through reconciliation. So if you've been paying attention, the American Jobs Plan and the American Families Plan is around $4 trillion, which means there's an additional $6 trillion, or additional $2 trillion out of that $6 trillion that could be used for a lot of different things. This could be stimulus checks. This could be the increase of Social Security. We don't know what that extra $2 trillion is, but this is a huge number too. We got to keep in mind $6 trillion. A lot could be done with that. I'm not saying that there's stimulus checks that are going to be in this additional $2 trillion or the $6 trillion infrastructure package, but keep in mind that the third stimulus check that was $1,400, those cost around $400 billion. So with an extra $2 trillion or part of the $6 trillion, it could be potential for a one-time stimulus check, probably more targeted, but a recurring stimulus check, I don't see the budget for that in it coming. So when it comes to the bipartisan path, Democrats are facing tough re-elections and back bipartisan infrastructure deals. So basically, the Democrats who are up for re-election, they're doing what needs to be done for re-election as opposed to what's best for the American people, which for me, I think is the biggest problem in Congress. People are doing what's best for re-election, what's best for the party, self-preservation, compared to what's best for the American people. When they put themselves or their party ahead of the American people, that's when Congress crumbles, and that's when a lot of people lose faith in the American system and the American government. Now, when it comes to the bipartisan path versus reconciliation, Chuck Schumer, Senate Majority Leader, vows to only pass infrastructure package that is a strong, bold climate bill. So he talked about two tracks moving forward with the infrastructure package. One track is going to be bipartisan, the other track is going to be reconciliation, but Chuck Schumer is saying, if it's not big, bold, and exactly what I want, then Republicans are going to have to take a walk, and we're going to do it through reconciliation. So with that type of rhetoric, it looks like it's going to be done through reconciliation. Regardless of how many people support the bipartisan, it's it's never going to be enough for Democrats, and Democrats are only going to want whatever they want in it, so most likely it's going to be done through reconciliation. Moving forward, let's talk about unemployment. So pandemic unemployment boost has gone now for nearly 8% of the population. So it just canceled yesterday. I mentioned 8 states. So far, June 12th, June 19th, we have 12 states who have canceled the $300 per week federal unemployment boost. The next big canceling is going to be June 26th, next Saturday. It's going to be Arkansas, Georgia, Florida, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Texas, and Utah. And that's going to be the majority of it. After that, it's going to be another 5 states that are going to cancel. And now in terms of new legislation, actually just started on Friday. So there's bipartisan legislation that would incentivize employment with $180 weekly payments to find work. So $180 weekly benefit is 60% of the $300 weekly unemployment benefit. So basically, it's sort of a back to work bonus. If you are unemployed, then you could get an additional $180 per week just for working. So the way this would work, this is from Representative Peter Major saying, while the end of the pandemic is in sight and life is steadily getting back to normal for many people, our country is experiencing a serious workforce crisis that is severely hindering what could otherwise be a strong rebound from COVID-19 and the challenges it presented. So basically, the way it's called support, it is the strengthening unemployment programs to provide opportunities for recovery training, acronym support. And this is going to give new workers who were previously unemployed an additional $180 per week. This is a federal program. This is not just for certain states like the other back to work bonuses. I'll keep you updated on this. Next, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Catherine Swenson asks, how does Congress justify the unreasonable amount of vacation time? Who set up these job perks? I'm guessing they did it for themselves. So yeah, you're referring to how Congress takes off pretty much half the year in vacation time, and they're getting paid $174,000 per year. Rodney Murphy 78 responded saying they work on average 174 days, which is about 5.5 months per year. So they're working 174 days in office, making $174,000. That's about $1,000 a day, and they get all that vacation. It's a sweet gig, but unfortunately, they're hurting the American people in the process of all that vacation and not getting stuff done. Hence the reason why it's taken so long for all this stuff, stimulus programs, stimulus checks, infrastructure, everything just takes forever in Congress. Next question, Tracy Sexy Little Mama Sanders asks, what about SSDI? So in terms of that Social Security program that I mentioned, it's just for SSI at the moment, the $279 increase per month. Unfortunately, yeah, it's just SSI, no SSDI, which I know a lot of people are upset about. Turkle Collins, I haven't received my last two stimulus checks and I filed taxes. What should I do? First, check the Get My Payment tool. If it's saying, no status or unavailable or nothing, if it's not giving you any information, I would contact the IRS. You should have received it by now. It looks like almost everybody has received it. There might be some fraud or something like that involved. Also, you should have received a letter telling you that you received the stimulus check, both the second and the third stimulus check. If you have those letters, hold on to that. Yeah, definitely contact the IRS because you should have received it by now. The IRS hasn't done a weekly update this past week saying that they sent out another 1 million or 2 million checks. So I don't think they're sending out any more of the third stimulus check. Anyways, that is all the stimulus news I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here is my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
This is the tip of the day. I'm going to tell you one thing what you can feel. If you really want something, then be a survivor, some juice. Just kidding. Be a survivor and do whatever you want, because that when someone's here for you, you can always use some help. Anyways, bye-bye.
So I hope you have an amazing Father's Day with any father figures in your life. Happy Father's Day to you if you're a father. What we're going to do is actually me and a couple of my father friends, we're just going to go to the park, do some grilling, hang out for a bit, and then I'll probably, just relax and not have to clean up around the house since it's Father's Day and I get a pass on that just for the day though. Anyways, if you want to check out any of my other videos, you can click this link up here or this video down over here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.